If you're part of a scheme where you take or send back electrical goods, well, the chances are that some of those goods end up being processed and recycled here. White goods, fridges and freezers, TVs and computers, and a whole range of smaller electrical items. Everything that can be recovered is recovered. At this Viridor facility, there are actually 3 stories going on at once. On one hand, there's TV and computer monitors using old CRT technology, cathode ray tubes. On the other are redundant or broken fridges. And if you had a third hand, that's where you'd find other electric and electronic items, from hairdryers to toasters and hi-fis to hoovers. All 3, CRT monitors, fridges and assorted electricals, follow a parallel path. They are all broken down on site to separate and recover their component parts, whilst ensuring all hazardous elements are safely removed. So, instead of ending up as waste, they come back to life. Take these TVs for instance. They may have come to the end of the road, but every one is full of valuable, reusable resources. Every day, at this one Viridor site alone, 1,000 of these are disassembled. The cathode ray tubes are cut away and lasers slice off the glass fascia, allowing the hazardous coating on the rear of the screen to be safely removed. 2 grades of glass are processed separately into cullet, basically glass pebbles, which can then be used again. For example, this material here is used to make new screens for televisions. Other valuable elements, such as copper wire, are sorted and picked out by hand, leaving behind empty plastic casing. Of course, this is also a reusable resource. Virtually nothing is wasted, and over 80% by weight of everything that arrives on site is recycled. While these screens are being recycled, the second of our parallel journeys is taking place. This sees around 300,000 fridges being processed from this one site every year. Each contains cooling gases, which are tapped and removed prior to being disposed of, with respect for the environment. Then, using a powerful set of jaws, the compressor at the back of the fridge is taken off and sent away for recycling. The task now is to break down what's left into small fragments and remove the cooling gases blown into the insulating foam within the fridge carcass. Imagine 2 giant chains rotating at high speed in a confined chamber 2.5 meters wide, creating an industrial food blender, which is then used to break up the fridge carcasses. That's what happens in here, and up to 12 fridges are processed at a time. After 6 minutes, each has been broken into small fragments of metal, plastic and foam, ready for magnetic and mechanical sorting. The final output is a collection of valuable raw materials, copper, aluminium, steel and plastics, showing just how much use so-called rubbish can be. But what about all the other electrical goods? The vacuum cleaners, foot spas and toasters, the irons and old computer games, 20,000 tons of them a year. They too have to face the rotating chains, but instead of being exposed for minutes, they are fed into the top of the machine and broken on their way to the bottom. The residue is then sorted by hand to pick out and remove hazardous components, in addition to useful wire, circuitry, metals and plastics. So what has all this high-tech recycling achieved? It helps companies in the UK comply with legal and regulatory directives, but the work they do here is not just about helping to follow regulations. Our processes not only remove hazardous materials, but also reclaim valuable materials, from precious metals to reusable glass and plastic, all of which can be used again. That makes a lot of sense.